Welcome to Pep Talks with Jeannie. I'm your host, Jeannie Pepper. I started doing Pep Talks as a way to inspire you to do intentional acts of kindness and to further the goals of #BlazeItForward. Since its inception, Pep Talks has evolved, and now I use it to interview people actively making a difference in this world through their volunteerism, community service, or careers. My guests are all here because they have dedicated their lives to making this world a better place. Join us as we delve into the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of these truly inspiring and hardworking people. This season, we will be using a panel format in some of our episodes to bring together synergistic guests to discuss topics that weave the social fabric of the world around us. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks with Jeannie. Well, we've had a chance to stretch our legs, and we're back to talk more to Soraya Mire, the author and activist. She wrote the book, The Girl with Three Legs. I highly recommend this book. I could not put it down to page turner because this is a real life story of someone's struggle to make the world a better place. And I'm really thrilled that I have you here.
I'm honored to be here.
I can't tell you how delighted I was when I found out that you were willing to come and speak to little like me here.
Oh, I remember that night when I came to your...
I was so...
It was my birthday that day, August 24th. Because of Elizabeth had the same, I wanted to come here. So I had it the 23rd. I wouldn't mind done on the 23rd.
I did not know that.
Because I didn't want to tell her because I wanted to honor her birthday.
Oh, so, well, next year it's going to be a double blowout.
Yeah. But that's how I met you. I wouldn't come. I wouldn't meet you.
That was my birthday present.
Yeah.
On your birthday.
So, yeah.
Who knew? So this book, very powerful book, and I would like to share a couple of the passages in this book just so the audience can kind of get a feeling for your writing and like how vulnerable you were when you wrote this, how much you were willing to share, how important these issues are to you, that you would share these very personal episodes in your family's history with us. It's very admirable that you would be willing to share things that are so private. So this was from your wedding day, which you didn't know that you were being married that day. Nobody did any of the customary things that they did in your culture, the nice things to make it exciting, fun, and beautiful, and partying and happy event, a happy occasion. They didn't even tell you it was your wedding day. Yeah.
Engagement thing.
Yeah, how lovely. Mother rushed into the living room, pulling me to the side. Her face was close to mine as she spoke in a harsh whisper. The nikah, the wedding contract, has been made, and the other formalities have taken place back at home. I could see she was trying to control her voice. This is your party to honor your marriage to Youssef. Who will provide for you for the rest of your life. She said that father agreed to shake Youssef's father's hand and give me to Youssef in marriage. Stunned, I stared into mother's eyes. Once again, she had shaped my destiny without my knowledge, and the familiar sense of childhood betrayal rose within me, tingling nerves, tightening my muscles. Something horrible had been decided for me, and my only choice was to follow my parents' wishes. Wow. How old were you when that happened?
I was 17, 6 months away from my 18th birthday.
Can you...
In Geneva, Switzerland, snow. First time I saw snow.
Wow. So far from home, far from the people that loved you and cared about you. And you've got your mother throwing you to a wolf.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That must have been just extremely emotionally devastating to you.
I think once as a child, when what happened to me with the mutilation that day and the eyes, my mother staring at me when I told you, the question mark, what were you thinking, seeing me in pain and allowing a stranger man to touch my most private part and feeling things, and I didn't get the answer right. And now on top of that, remember when I said, in order for you to love me, you have to cause me pain. So to me, what the message was, love and pain. In order for me to love you, I have to hurt you. So it is pain. It's also love, form of love. So you see this with even though this is a cultural,
this was an
association. They don't understand it. Yeah, it's what do you call cultural way of saying this is not an abuse, but it is a form of abuse. It is an abuse. It's an emotional child abuse.
Yeah,
Physical
it
child
is
abuse.
interesting.
Ultimate child
Yeah,
abuse.
it's a terrible irony too to equate love and pain with each other.
But that's what I was thinking. I can't speak for others, but I was thinking she loves me. She's my mom. I am getting better with that. Now I understand what happened to me at 13, even though I don't understand it because no one answered me.
Yes.
But I'm standing right here in a foreign land with a stranger man who is my cousin. I met him a few weeks ago, and
Yeah, this 35-year-old man.
Yeah, and just grinning right there is like tapping his chair next to him. He's like, come and sit here. It's like, and all these strangers saying like, may you have many sons. It's like, who are you? They know it before I even knew it, right? So that's when I said, I'm going to escape. That I said, I have no family in my, they're all dead to me. You're all dead to me.
Well, you knew no one was pulling for you.
I didn't, but it's hard because you don't know where am I going to escape to? Where am I going to go?
And and in your culture, they just pull you right back in again and punish you.
Oh, they know it. He has my passport and my money order. My father gave me the money in case I needed some money. They already had the plan. So where am I going to go and run to? So I ran to my room, which had no lock. I guess that's why he had all the, anyway. But I tried to pack like crazy, like just trying and crying and screaming. And now the panic is coming. I need medication. She knows what to do.
Wow. Addicted to drugs.
Yeah, and then she filling in the pills, and I'm right there and still arguing, and now it's setting in, and
wow,
that's what happened. I woke up, and here we go.
And here we go. But it wasn't just, that wasn't enough, because then after you're married, then he's going to now defibrillate you.
Yeah.
Or try to open up this scar that was created when you were 13.
But do you remember, though, I never knew what men do and how children are made. Remember,
they never discussed this with you.
We talk about sex, but we don't know anything below our chins, our chins. We don't know anything about our bodies. It's the man to investigate and tell us how to feel. That's your husband when you get married, right? You just give birth and that's it. Take care of that. You get pregnant. It's like a...
Yeah.
Ooh, anyway,
it's just a gift.
So I remember at 13 when I went... I wanted to investigate why the wedding night is painful and say the ears, the smoke coming out of the ears of pride. So I went under my cousin's bed with my niece. My cousin.
That was an incredible story.
But I wanted to see what happens at the wedding. So now I'm standing here afraid of that, thinking about, now what is the experience?
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's something. So one of the times that you were together, you decided you were going to take matters into your own hands. You put a knife between your legs, covered yourself with a sheet, and waited for him.
Yeah.
He comes into the room, he gets in bed, lays next to you, and he says, "I'm not here to hurt you," he said. I looked up at the ceiling, thinking about how awful the yellow paint was, and I noticed the long-haired angel staring at me from above the bed. I would have bet she was one of those spectators at the Plaza del Toros cheering Yusuf on. I felt a hand gently untie my hair and fingers run through it. "Can I look at it?" Yusuf said. I slapped him. I completely forgot about the knife, and it fell from its perfect position between my legs. Yusuf's body moved up and fell on top of me, his face above mine. I could smell the alcohol in his breath, and it was unbearable. "Please don't rape me," I begged. "You're my wife," Yusuf shouted. His hand landed on my throat as his tongue danced around my face. I shut my mouth tight, struggled to reach for the water glass sitting by the nightstand. I'm going to leave it there because there was a violent exchange after that, and the audience is going to need to get your book to find out what happened that night.
The movie when it comes.
Yeah, that's right. But this is the kind of abuse that you were subjected to as a married woman, 17 years old.
Yeah. I think wedding, it's amazing in every culture, right? Even our culture is celebrated. But what happens behind the closed doors of women survivors like me or female genital mutilation, especially the infibulation form, the fourth one, which is the stitching and the painful, have a horrific, painful process for them to consummate their marriage.
Yeah,
because he has to. If usually his mother has to come and check on you to see if you are still sealed and virgin, double virgin.
Yeah,
and then they will bring a midwife to open you up. You know what I mean? If not, most of men want to do it themselves. Like they want to take the time for them to do it slowly, gently, kindly, and sweetly. But most of them, they're just thinking for themselves, not thinking about you're just an object. Even though I do and I love you, they said, I don't even know to understand what that means. Hey, my father is a father. I have brothers. I love men. I absolutely do. Hopefully, one day I'll get married. But they don't know what they don't know. They don't know. I remember one time someone said to me back, Sahir said that God doesn't know how to deal with women because he never had a mother. Most of men, even though they came through us, we don't explain to them how to treat women because we are being forced to follow what we've been brainwashed and being told how to subjugate ourselves instead of just going to what men are doing. And it's just us subjugating ourselves, hurting ourselves. And our boys are seeing that. And then the cycle continues, and I will continue our cycle of mutilating, hurting, forcing child marriages, and all of that,
Yeah. It's just really,
Yeah.
You decided that you were going to change the world.
I decided to really sit down one day after I made that documentary, Fire Eyes, which was mainly to really educate the world, open up about it, and share this taboo subject, and say this is a human rights issue, it's women's rights, child's rights issue. We got to force young girls and boys to protect them. We have to force them to end this. So we need a law. America needs to law to say we welcome you, the refugee. We welcome you here in our land. We will protect you. We'll support you. But this is a form of child abuse, and we do not accept it. You will go to jail if you do this. And any doctors who performs it, female genital mutilation, any form, it could be even the sunnah type, the one they snip, prick the clitoris. You don't even have to do all the other worse stuff. That is a form of child abuse.
Absolutely.
And that's what we did. Took 9-10 years. And
10 years.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, Minnesota was the first, I think. In America, we passed laws, except
Wow.
Georgia was the last one we did back in 95.
So every state has
every
laws?
state I went, it took all my life with going there, speaking and going to the senators and making sure. And Georgia was 2005. I was there. I moved for 3 years to work on a case and put this father from Ethiopia, who had well-to-do young man from Ethiopia, married women from South Africa. They had a horrible, kind of a divorce things. So the daughter was with him, 2 years old, and he did it in Duluth, Georgia, in the bathtub with his friend, cutting his young girl's genitals. When I got the call from the police asking me what to do, I said, sealed everything and he needs to be in jail. And we put him in jail for 10 years. Went to Georgia, getting all the human rights, Amnesty, everybody came all over the world to speak about it. We got the mother to come and fight for law also to make sure Georgia passed. The Georgia didn't want to pass the law. We passed it. Yeah, Sonny Perdue signed it and we were right there behind him signing it.
Wow.
So it took a while, but
was this something that did you fund all of these trips to all these?
But my speaking was funding it. I'll make a lot of money speaking, going around universities.
Yeah.
And I will make money. And then the movie was but the movie was about the midwives and educating people, helping them stop genital mutilation, girls daily in Africa.
Yeah.
Helping those. But I was funding whatever I learned, and I had angels,
Well, you're an angel.
I had people helping me, but...
What are the statistics? How many women are presently...
I would say survivors like us, over 200,000, 200 million, 200 million, sorry.
200 million women have survived female genital mutilation worldwide today.
Those at risk, I would say over 4 million.
Ooh.
Are at risk now, maybe going up, maybe 4.5 or 4 or 6, who knows. And
is it religious or cultural?
It is. People are charading as a religion. Islam doesn't say to mutilate any child, even though there's misinterpretation of the way what's written there. This is a form of controlling women's sexuality and women's body, saying that I'm not going to only own you as my property just to give me children, especially boys, but I'm going to tell you how to move your body because I will be moving it for you. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know anything about orgasm. Well, nobody knows what orgasm and what the clitoris does and what the lips does and what is a foreplay and what is sex and dogs, whatever you're doing we do it in the West world. We didn't know anything, right? Even when you get married, you're still humble and trying to be proper. You know what I mean? but that's what they're doing it. But when you have many young girls who got fistula, where the rectum, that's the tissue that separates the rectum and vagina, falls off, and now everything is flowing, smelling horribly. There's no way to repair it back in Africa. Dr. Grosbeck actually learned and helped so many women in Sudan and in Africa, Those women like, I haven't seen him, which is true. I saw it, dying on, drowning on the ocean, Indian Oceans, Mogadishu, killing themselves. They have a home where they keep them and protect them, but it's inhumane.
It's a small percentage.
Yeah, because they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. They're the unseen one, or they're dead to them.
And you saw those women. You talked about that.
I went the house. They had a specific house. They called them, the house was called Ghost House, even though it might have a different name. And I asked my grandmother, because I saw them in remember on the ocean I was one time. And I saw even my distant cousin, who we didn't know where she went. She was 15, 16. We don't know where she went. Some girls, get, by mistake, who knows, get young boy come to them, and the stupid things, the girls get pregnant and problems happens, and the family don't want them. Society don't want them because it's out. You're not married to have a baby. Abortion is not allows you. You have to have the baby. It's a lot.
A lot.
And then on top of that, you trying to birth that baby, and your body, who is 15, 16, cannot handle it. And now you have it. By the time the baby is pulled out of you or cut you out of it, your body is destroyed. And now you get fistula, where they cannot repair it in Africa. Now they have training and they're doing a good work, right?
Oh, wow. But still.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's inhumane, and I don't think... So this became form of tradition, religion, and now it became rite of passage. It is rite of passage, where for you to cross that girlhood to womanhood. Mm-hmm. So now you're allowed that beautiful circle of powerful, respected women. Now you are ready for marriage. Well, now you got your period. Now you are properly mutilated. No, they don't say mutilated.
No, they call it something nice. Beautified.
Yeah, purified.
Purify, enhance.
Yeah, purified. Chastity. Your chastity secured. You keeping the honor of the family. So, but the thing is, no one talks about it like the way we were talking about it. My mother didn't talk to her mother, my grandmother, who was telling that wouldn't tell me why they were calling me the girl with 3 legs, but telling my mom, before you do anything, that gift, talk to your husband. I'm right there. Why can't they not tell me?
And your grandmother was more of the Hindu tradition too, wasn't she?
I know. We never talk about her heritage. That's the thing. We're Somalis, like there's no race mixing and blah, blah. And
did you ever so you never understood why she was Hindu? Where that came from? Because your family wasn't from India or that part of the...
All Somalis. Yes.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
We all mixture, They said our tribe came from Yemen.
We
come from Yemen. We're the Arabs, and we're Somali. We are complete Somalis. But
yeah,
everywhere you're dealing with here, we're dealing with it.
Yeah, I was learning about Somalia, and your genetics are very interesting.
My genetic, I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, when they look at the genetics of Somali, they're from everywhere, right? Everywhere. It's a mix.
But so if women had a chance to talk among themselves and say, this is horrible, I felt this is not okay, this pain is unbearable. If our ancestors, mothers, grandmothers told us that, we wouldn't be going through what is happening.
Yeah.
And some of them, they don't even have the proper tools to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Infections, it's unbearable.
Yeah. It's very primitive. It's just a primitive way of living, especially when you don't have proper medical to treat infections.
Unnecessary. So don't use the name of God. Don't use the name of tradition. It's just a pure form of abusing women's body and saying that she's
subjugating women
to own her own.
Yeah. It teaches girls at a very young age that they're
free don't matter.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why when they say cross your legs, don't look people in the eye, especially men. Don't wear that. Why are you showing that? What do you mean? It's my body. I want to show whatever I want to show.
It's like these societal norms are more difficult to disengage from than handcuffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be easier to break free of a jail cell than to break free from some of these
because
rules.
You don't make the main thing is the fear that the culture has is we're so tight knit. The family is so important to all of us. You know how hard it was for me to be ostracized from my family, being cut off from my country and my people. Is one of the most pain I ever felt, besides the pain that I had to go through genital mutilation, corrective surgery, and detoxing from drugs, all of that. But the thing is not to have that beauty of that people, family coming together, chatting and doing poetry and arguing and just loving and doing. And then in the midst of that beauty, there is something untold, a pain that is sitting. No one says, I don't see it well. I don't feel it.
Yeah.
My mother said it.
Yeah.
Why? Everybody's walking fine. Why is she the only one feeling this? Because nobody wants to say it.
That's right.
Nobody wants to say, I control my body now. I don't want to pee. I want to die. I don't want to feel this pain.
Yeah.
At 13, nobody wants to do that. Especially you don't talk back at your elderly.
Well, that's what seems to keep the family intact, is women keeping their mouth shut, women going along with it all. Because if the women don't go along with it, the family unit doesn't stay together. So that this is how they kind of keep the structure.
Yeah. I think there's a question I think you had for me, I think.
Yes. What is the most significant positive effect of writing this book into your life? What's happened?
Beside all that pain, I think, and all of the rejections and trying, begging to be accepted and loved and seen and heard and respected, was to at least someone will see what I went through. Whether it's my family, my mom will read it, my dad will see the documentary and say, my mom will see it and say, oh my God, I see myself in her. For what she, you see what I'm saying?
I saw a lot in your book, almost like a need, and I hear it now from you, for your mother to really see you.
I just wanted her to see herself by seeing me, what I'm doing, because we look alike. She's more beautiful than me, but we're like twins, even though she's 5'9", I'm 5'3" or 4. But for her to say, now I see why she is shouting from the rooftops and putting our name in there and disrespecting the family and the culture. That's what they think. But I'm using my own story. I don't use one of my sisters or anybody. It's my story. It's my body. I decided to be naked in front of the world. But the most significant thing for me, really changed all of that, is when my father was dying from lung cancer. And I said that he's seen my documentary, right? Remember, he's seen my documentary, and he said, now I knew the day you were going up that plane, the stairs, and you're going up, I knew you will be amazing what you're going to do in your life. And I forgive me. He was really sorry for what he did. But he was dying, right?
Yeah.
Forgive him. The second thing was, my brother's wife called me. She's a nurse in Alberta, Canada. Now I think she's in America. Said that because of you, all my kids, my daughters, I saved them. None of them had it.
Wow.
So we broke the curse of the generation cycle of pain from my brothers.
That was amazing.
But imagine other people who were calling me from all over, because I would sleep my phone under my bed, my pillow, because I would get calls from Africa, women who might be circumcising children. I'm like, how much money do you need? Can you please stop? I'll pay you. Oh. Instead of that, or the mother calling, crying, like, I don't want to do this because they're going to ostracize me. I don't want to be like you, being thrown away. Nobody wants you. I said, but you will survive. You will find a way to live. And she said, not in this culture. Not here. I can't do it here. I can't live without my societies, my culture.
But you had one friend who came to you when you were in college, Dika, I think.
Yeah, Decha. Yeah.
And you told her, you have a choice. You can reverse this, or you can leave it.
Yeah.
It's your choice. And she didn't decide she was going to do anything.
Our friendship.
She was afraid.
Yeah, our friendship ended in New York. I know. I went to her and I wanted her to live her life, because she wanted to be really, to do something with this guy that was, I think, from Spain or something. I said, you got to love whoever you love. It doesn't matter what religion, what culture, what race. Do you want to spend the rest of your life with him, or whatever chance you have to share this love? Go. And she said, okay, but I don't want to do this, and I don't want to tell him. I said, whoa, how can you not tell people who you are close? You have to be honest. So it's hard.
Yeah.
But for me, saving my nieces, even though I don't see them, I rebuilt that relationship when my mother, was passing away. Just would go and check on her, but she got dementia, and instead of her asking for forgiveness and telling me why she did, what she did, and how does she feel now, and can she forgive me for, talking about her and the pain and not anger, but how I feel about her. I just want her to say, I'm sorry, I feel that because I've been there where you are at, and you're right, this is wrong, and I'm sorry, I had no choice. But I'm still your mother. You still have to love me and respect me. Of course I do, no matter what.
That takes a lot of grace to be able to do that, to be able to say that.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, that would be like me being able to forgive the man that murdered my son.
I'm so sorry. I know, but I know it's the hardest thing to do.
But it's good for you if you can do it.
Yeah, you're doing for your son, and you're doing for you to keep living in the light.
Yeah.
And not having that darkness and that, negativity. Yes, forgiveness is your healing.
It really
is a gateway to the possibilities that lies.
You have to let it go at some point. And I think for the most part,
I'm sorry about your loss. I really am sorry.
Well, people have all kinds of losses and hardship. This was my challenge in this life. So we'll learn something from it.
No, I hear you as a mother who never had a child but had abortion thing. I still long for. I always think about that baby. When people who abortion or who are raped or we always think about that. It still stays with us. We used to wake up middle of the night crying, sobbing, thinking about the baby. It's not like you don't want this baby, but you've been violated. You've been assaulted. Most painful you could imagine. And what the most amazing thing is just the terror.
Yeah.
That in front of you that you cannot even explain when people say, well, what did you do? Well, you forgot that was years ago. You should have had the baby. Were you there for me when I was
People don't know what they're talking about.
Anyway,
they don't know how to stand in your shoes.
Yeah. So that's why I say people's freedom, their rights.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. Officially, women need to have, every human needs to have.
Every human, and our boys too. I'm against boys' circumcision. I don't like it at all, especially when they're babies.
Based on your experience and what you've learned about these procedures, it makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, people say it's different. Of course, I understand the different form of mutilation, but when you touch a child from a most vulnerable place, and you're cutting them, it's the same scissors cutting someone else. It might be different.
These bright line rules that to protect people. They're not wrong. I know that this comes from my tradition too. The circumcision is a big part of it. So there's nothing I can do about it, but it's true that children don't have a say in this. It's done for them, and they don't have a voice. So
thank you.
Yeah,
doing whatever you could.
Well, thank you for doing what you're doing to save the 200 million women. Or more
survivors, and those who are every single day.
Yeah, exactly. And think of all of the young women in the future that will not have to experience this agony, and this subjugation, and not having any choice in their lives over who they marry, and not being able to have their families because they're shunned.
Yeah, it's hard. That's the hardest.
I mean, that's a punishment that nobody deserves to be punished that way.
I think what happened it's like what we're doing even in America, after we pass the laws and even Homeland Security, we have all education about how to make sure that this is not happens in here. We educating it, and also around the world. People are being educated, but then you have people who don't respect laws, who don't see whatever we put here, bill, and this is passed legislations. Back in those, Asia, Middle East, and Africa, it's like whatever. The tradition trumps over, laws and anything. So even though we made progress all these decades, more than 3 decades, you have even Senegal. Was being banned we banned it. FGM was banned 1999, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct. Still happening. Burkina Faso. It's like it's coming back because now you have fanatics taking over. You have coup d'etat, civil wars happening. So women are more vulnerable, being refugee camps, being raped, and now they're saying like now it's coming back. Oh, I have to protect for her not to get pregnant, so I have to shut her, and make sure that she sealed her. So
Right.
So I have to, and that creates more like, oh, you're right. We could no. Boys needs to be trained not to rape people and aggression. We have to train them, give them a mental health and help them in the refugee
it's so
camps.
backwards, like to look at this as a female issue when like it's your fault that you're being raped, that you need to protect yourself from it. I mean, give people Taekwondo classes.
You don't cause. I don't. It's not my problem how you're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're thinking. So why would you think, knowing what I'm thinking, for you to say I will this for you? I don't even know you from anywhere. Are you kidding me? That's why we cannot allow that. You wear what you want to wear. You want to be who you want to be.
Yeah.
You want to love who you.
This is a human rights issue, just like being, whether you're LGBTQ, a female. What you need to have the right to control your body and to love who you want to love. You shouldn't be forced into relationship with anybody.
Marriage.
Absolutely, and definitely not as a child. You should never be.
It's inhumane.
Yeah, absolutely. So after you finished your book, which was in was it 2011?
Yeah.
You started work on your screenplay for the book, or how did that come about?
I took a break. After the tour, I took a tour all America, all over to do book
with
tour.
your book. Okay, so 2011, the book was what?
October. It came out October. I think October. It came 2011.
Yeah.
And then I went to tour all over here. Then I really wanted to go to Canada where my family were, so they will hear it, because I was doing interviews like this. So they will come in Toronto. I went to Ottawa. I went to Edmonton, everywhere, just whatever they were, or whatever my family could be, or relatives, could be cousins or extended. We have so many,
Yeah.
We intermarry each other, so it could be, and none of them showed up. But I had plenty of people who didn't even know me, not, Canadians or whatever, as so supportive and listening this and understanding. And I think it was still me trying to rebuild and reconnect, to say, I'm doing this for the next generation, for me to heal, for you to stop this pain, for your children when you're married, now that you're married.
Yeah.
My life was my activism. I wasn't thinking about marriage and children.
Right.
So I made that choice, and it was the choice that I was happy with it. Right. So my family couldn't see that. What's wrong with you? Not, why you stop this, right?
Yeah. Did your family read your book? Did any of them read?
Yes. I actually, when I was in Minnesota, my cousin came. My cousin, my sister's, my niece. Sorry, my sister's daughter, right? My niece.
Your niece.
My niece, I think, came, and we were rebuilding it. I saw my sister, my oldest sister, and it created trouble. So I'm close to my ex-husband's, was my cousin. His sister, she is my best friend. She lives in
Khalifa?
No, Khalifa is my sister trouble, yeah.
Oh.
Her daughter, right?
Oh, yeah.
My cousin lives in Minnesota. She's the only one we contact with all these years. I visit.
So Yusef's sister.
Yusef's sister is, because she was against it, and she was the only one who really said didn't know. Even though everyone said we didn't know the plan, but they knew, because the arrangements were already being made in Mogadishu, the party, whatever you call it.
They kept her out of the loop because they thought she would tell you.
Yeah. So we are like sisters, right? She's in my book too, and. So once I finished that reading at the bookstore, with my niece was there, my cousin was there, all Americans and everybody were there. It was a great event. I went back to my hotel, and was it 1 a.m? Between 1 or 3, I got the call from my cousin saying, you got to get out of right now, your hotel. Trouble is coming for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to escape from there, to run, to get away. And it was... Yeah, my niece's had issue with how I talked about my sister in here, even though I changed all the names.
Oh.
So I tried to open up. I tried. It's like you can't, when they read it, they had an issue. how blunt I was. I was naked, and it was my story to be naked. I said, I'm saying it if you have, when I was even interviewing some of them, like my sister Khalifa Yunus, I said, this is my version, what I remember, but I am willing to see what your version is, so we could connect it and see how we misunderstood. But if you're not giving me an answer, I'm understanding everything correctly. I'm sitting in front of you and you're not giving me the answer. Okay. Yelling, I'm doing this.
They were triggered.
Yeah, it will be published. And if you have an issue, then you could do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is, your name is not going to be, it will be changed, but you will know it will be your story because I'm telling you right now, but it's not your name, but it will be that story.
Okay. So writing this book, you had to change.
So they knew it. They knew what I was writing. And I said, yeah, but you can't. I said, well, it's my story. You write your own book.
Yeah.
And I'll write your own book and say your version. I'll bless you.
Did they do it?
No.
Oh.
And then when my mother was passing away, I went to, when she got at the dying in Canada, I went to the hospital, and my niece was there. Nobody was speaking, but it's shouting. It was just yelling and arguments. My mom's dying. There's no point. So I had to get back.
You just said, forget it.
Yeah. And I didn't stay for the last one, her burial, because it's for my safety.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Even with your own family, you feared your safety?
That threats for many years. I was, for many years.
Not anymore?
I still, nobody remembers. I'm not on TV anymore. I'm not interviewing.
So you've been able to, but, are you concerned about getting back into the limelight again?
I know it motivates me. No, I move a lot, so nobody knows where I'm at. And no matter if I travel, I don't use my name. It's like I know how to protect. I've been protecting myself since that documentary came out.
Oh, you're smart. You have
been
to.
Underground, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to do that. So you went ahead and started working on your screenplay for your book.
I took, I would say, like a time out, because emotionally I was just drained, just trying to beg and love, just to be accepted back, and just, and feel heard. Everyone else in the world is hearing me, except the ones I really matter the most was my family. I wasn't doing it out of hate.
Yeah.
I was doing out of love for me to heal myself and not allow everyone else to feel the pain I went through.
In order for you to heal, there were consequences.
I was ready, and I remember my therapist saying, "What are you doing? Are you crazy? Are you ready for this?" I said, "Yeah."
Because people were going to be hurt.
But I was naive. I was a young girl.
Yeah.
I was I was a young girl. I'm like, I'm cool. I'm gonna do it. I didn't know what it will take out of my life, but I'm happy that millions of women we saved through my work and others who helped us in the long run, until now.
You lost some of your family relationships because of this. Was it worth it?
Yeah, I had to make the choice.
Yeah.
I remember when I was deciding to come here, remember they were sending me money?
Yeah.
So they had my account, and I remember it was a lot of money. Like when you will see it's like, 20,000. What am I going to do with 20,000 franc? I'm a student there. But I realized I'll pay some, what do you call it, student coming to America exchange, right? So I was excited, right? So I took care of that. But I didn't want to go back. So they froze my account. So I had $300 to come to America, but everything else was paid. The ticket, the lodge, all the program. I somehow paid before they
took it. Mm.
But that is like motivation to say, now I see. I don't know how I lived without money when I escaped from the marriage, and this underground women were helping me for a while, did babysitting and,
Wow.
Because school France is free. You just have to pay your meal and your dormitory and books, so you could
survive. How nice is that?
Yeah, yes.
Were you a French citizen? Or?
No, I had a carte séjour, like a kind of a green card.
Okay, so they accepted Somali.
Yeah, and then the same connection I did the way I do with people. I had teachers finding me jobs, find me place to. It's like if you lose your dormitory, because I was afraid the money thing, because these people will only send you so much, and the second envelope will be finished. This is no more contacts. But they still were helping me.
Okay.
So, and then I'll tell them what's going on. They didn't know my stories. Like, in case I lose it, everyone asked me, where's your family? I said, oh, my family is all dead during the Civil War. I have no idea. I said, there was Ethiopian and Somali war, which was true. I said they were killed. I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah. Because they expected you to
Everybody was like, oh no, we got to help this young African girl sitting here alone.
But you were alone.
Yeah, but
in reality, they weren't going to help. Your family they were done with you. They didn't want to know from you.
And so it took, I sat for a while, and then I had to write. So I taped it, or my voice. Mm-hmm. And then I needed to not do any activist work or any work. I just wanted time out to do the book. But how am I, if I don't speak and do this one, how am I going to live, right? So I had to get funding from the film fund that usually gives money. And so they gave me 2 years. That's it. So I did that. And
so there was a nonprofit that helped you to get that.
And then I had a friend of mine who's a philanthropist, Marcy Polier. She's amazing. She still helps people. Very good person. And then I had a friend, I said the actress would give me a home. Thelma Hopkins.
Oh, wonderful.
Alice Walker. I wanted her to write the book with me, and she said, this is your story. I want you, the way you did the book, the way you did the movie, the documentary, because you didn't want to do mine. You said, I have a mind, my own. Now this is your own. I said, but I never wrote a book. She said, just tell the story. So I started sitting there 9 hours every single day. 9 hours. And just throwing up for first 6 months was difficult because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't talk to people. The pain came back. I was as if vividly living in those scenes as if I was right there being, mutilated.
Yeah, you went through it all over again.
Or my mom So the vision became, this is a story about between a daughter and a mother and a daughter and the therapist and those who came a long way. Mm-hmm. And the vision is how can we heal and then heal others.
Yeah.
And then I remember that was not easy. So it was 800 pages and I sent it to...
It's half that now.
Now it's half that now. Yeah. Sorry, it's only half now.
Yeah.
It's only
379, I think.
360?
Not 379. Yeah, around that. 375. I might be right on the money here.
Yeah, 375. I hope so.
Yeah. 375.
Yeah, it's 375. Anyway, so they did it. And I end up, because I wanted to have, like the documentary, Fire Eyes, I wanted every school to have it. Every school, everywhere, for African department and women's department. And I wanted to do the book the same thing. And those other people wanted to change the story and make it more about how do you feel about, you get orgasm. So it's not about that. It's about
They wanted to sensationalize the story.
Yeah. So I went with this Chicago press to put it all over in schools, and they did the same thing. Every university has a copy of it.
Excellent.
And it won for the best. 2011, it won the best. 2012, I think. The best Library of America, best book.
Wow.
For All America's Library.
That is
voted best book.
That's
with all the names. They had other people names or literature names and well-known names.
Yeah,
and the book won.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
fabulous. Are the books still in general circulation?
Yeah, well, it still is. If you like Amazon, I think you could. I'm not sure.
You can say it. Yeah,
Amazon. You still, still is Chicago reviews.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a problem getting one, but I wanted a hardcover, and I ended up buying one from a library in Kenosha.
Yeah,
I don't know where that is. Kenosha.
Well, that's amazing.
I know. That's where this came from. I didn't know that when I
you could buy it. Amazon is fine. They're still sending it. Amazon getting it. You could go to Barnes & Nobles. Even though Barnes & Nobles hard copy is still $26.99.
Oh, yeah.
They still have it.
Worth every penny.
I know it does. It does.
Yeah, it's one of those books. It's a life-changing book, I think. For a lot of people, it will be. I mean, I wasn't at risk of performing that on myself or my daughter, but
thank you.
But the story is just it's another thing about this story if you want to just look at it in the scheme of just like people that make a difference in the world are people that take big risks and people that have been greatly affected by problems and say, I don't want anybody else to live like this. I want to see the world free of this problem. And you stepped up.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel the same way about, making sure that people understand the value of helping others, I'm trying.
What are you doing now? Helping.
Yeah, this is, it's like your life work is to bring attention to this subject. And, I don't think that what I'm doing is going to affect people as greatly as your work.
It does affect.
I hope so.
I remember what I say, every smile you give, you're bringing someone else's joy into, making their day better.
Yeah.
That's why even when you pass by a homeless, say hello, how was your day?
Yeah.
That make you feel good on them.
Yeah. But, like what I'm doing, I think you're making African women and women of African descent, they feel seen. Their pain is recognized. It is real.
And it's not shame. It has nothing to be ashamed of what happened to you. You were your survivor.
Absolutely. I think that's a really important point because one thing I learned as a parent is that shame is the worst thing you can ever bring to your children. The worst thing you can ever do is shame a child. And in this instance, this goes beyond that.
Yeah.
This is not only shame. This is basically telling a young person that their pain is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Yeah. And actually God created you not the way you're supposed to.
Right.
Now we have to correct what God did.
Yeah, God made it something defective. And now we're going to fix it.
God.
Yeah.
Which is really not right to say that.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you're lucky there's nothing in the Quran that says that Allah does want this done. I mean, you never get rid of it. You imagine? No. Thank goodness for one good thing.
I know. Thank God. No,
jeez.
We don't want to go there.
No, we're not going there. We're going forward.
No, moving forward.
Absolutely. Okay. Yep. So you finished, you started the screenplay. You had 2 years to do it.
So what I did was, the book, the script, I started it I really read the book 3 times.
Oh, you did?
One time was just for me to read all of it.
Yeah.
And then no judgment. Second time, see what works as a visual, because I'm not making another documentary. I made it already, Fire Eyes. So this is not going to be the story. So what is visual for me not to show too much, even though I will show some of it, but don't tell, but how can I show it? But at the same time, what I'm telling, how can I be not graphic? While I'm still giving the story like, this is a young woman's story. So what I came up at the end, the third time, was like, this story is going to be redemption. It's finding that your center of who you are. Because remember I said that I didn't know which world I belonged to when I came to France. And they didn't know how to examine me at the emergency room when they were trying to pump me out of the pills, overdose, and trying to examine me. Didn't know what to do. When I was bleeding, the corrective surgery, I got it. Now what kind of a woman? Because now they said sexuality and what you have down there and having clitoris and everything is the most important thing, and pleasure. And now I didn't even know what they took it, what it meant it, and now how can I connect? But at the end I said, no, I need to center myself. What did I learn from Nigel, from my mother? Because she taught me life too. She gave me a gift to learn about the culture, about me, about her, and what to be a woman in women's body. So I wanted to take myself out of myself and see how can a stranger who has nothing to do with my culture will come and listen and watch this story and say, this is my story, even though I never been through. Tell me to.
It's very relatable.
So how can I tell American women or Western women or Asian women or Indian women or Asians, Indian, but Middle Eastern or African, that could unite as a human being? So we're not being seen with breast and genitals, vagina. But how can we be a human being who've been through a lot to say, I hear you, I see you. You have a right to speak up. You have a right to demand your freedom.
And you did the Vagina Monologues. You were part of that as well. Yeah,
that came out of nowhere. It was right after Sundance. I was doing Tep Couple interviewed, I think,
Nightline.
that thing Nightline.
Yeah.
With that voice scared me before oh my God, when I was hearing it, it was just hard.
Yeah.
And then I got the call with Eve Ensler, who wrote the book of Vagina Monologues, said that, we really loved your Sundance. I didn't even know she saw his Sundance, the film, because it was a busy time for me. I couldn't see people.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm coming to Los Angeles, because I was living by the beach that time. I need to come with my stage producer. Stage manager, we want to make a Vagina Monologue play. I want you to be part of it. I'm like, what? Hollywood? Again, what's... I said, but I'm an activist. I'm not really into, because she was naming all these famous people, and this was 1998, actually, when she wanted to start things. And I said, well, okay, let's meet. So she came. We went to Rose Cafe in Santa Monica.
I've been there.
Yeah, I love that beautiful flower. That's great. They have the best food ever that time.
Yeah.
And you were sitting in front of me. I just loved her energy. She was just, the way you're talking to me, same energy. She meant it well. She was making people's lives better, like you doing it in different forms. She didn't even think she had it. I'm just talking about vagina and that. I said, but you changed. That's what we're doing is empowering.
Yes.
Empowerment. That's what it's all about. So people could decide what they want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I don't want to be, with, she said, I said, how about if you and I decide if I take part of it to be on the stage, and that I don't want to be the only one who is survivor from genital mutilation. I want you to open to other girls from Africa.
Yeah.
And I want to write their monologue. So I will be writing the FGM monologue, only me. Mm-hmm. And you will have it, whatever I write, it will be in the Vagina Monologue. And she said, yes. And she said, but can you do it as stage 4 this time? We did it 4 years. And she brought it girls from Kenya.
Oh.
So we did it at Madison Square, Hammerstein Theater, 1998, we opened it.
Oh.
V-Day, we called it V-Day. And it was awkward, like stage, whatever, all this. It was the most powerful event ever. I mean, everybody were there. I mean, when you talk about people seeing about images of women and the way they're talking about the monologues. But when I came, there was no laughter. You could hear a pin drop.
Wow. And this is a full auditorium.
It was full. And you had, I remember all I could see was Matt Damon was there. And everybody was there. Yeah. What I could see was Matt Damon and, what was it, like, Winona Ryder. I don't know. She was, a lot of stars were there, but their people were there, everybody. Yeah. But him, I was watching him. I hope it was 98 when he was there, because we made 4 years. Yeah. And that was so powerful. I wasn't afraid. I was afraid when I was behind the curtain before I got there. I had the...
But once you were up there and everyone was smiling at you, it was good.
Yeah, because the light was just, now, you did the documentary. Now you're doing this. Now it's beyond you. Yeah. Now it's like the next generation are taking the torch. This you're done.
Oh, that must have been a nice feeling.
You are done. You what, 30?
You did your job.
Yeah, you what, 30, 31? You're done. So this is not about you anymore. Don't even think about it. Oh, don't say, I'm in Hollywood now. All these famous actresses and famous. No, they will take the torch.
Right.
And they did.
That must have been a great relief to you.
And then what I asked them was that hopefully please to have help open up where the girls could escape in Africa if they could do so. V-Day opened a house where girls could escape in Kenya.
Oh, wow.
And they had that girls could escape. So one of those girls who escaped from mutilation came and spoke to us at the Madison Square Garden. Oh, the last one we did, was it 2000? I don't know.
So they don't do them anymore. Is it over?
No, they're still doing it. Vagina, I know they still do it at universities.
Yeah, but they don't. Is it? Oh, it's not the same anymore, though.
No.
Yeah.
We did it even in England, everywhere. Like the Vic, Theatre Vic at the theatre in London.
Yeah,
it was a big deal. You had everybody came supporting everybody. They raised so much money to.
They made a movie too, didn't they? Wasn't there a movie?
I don't remember.
I think I don't know if I saw.
I saw her again. On Sunday. I called Anne. We still connect.
Yeah,
that we used to, but
yeah,
people have lives and people grow differently, and and I was doing my own things, doing my own healing and dealing with fame differently and trying to get out. I've been clean, from opiates since '98. I've been sober 26 years.
Congratulations. That's very difficult.
Yeah. So Anyway, so that's what I did. So when I started writing this book, it became the story about me, Dr. Nigel, and my mother.
Oh, yes.
So
I see that those were like the big influences on your life, these people.
Yeah, finding love again and not understanding it and trying to be, because trust is one issue that's the hardest thing for me, always been because of what happened to me as a child.
You had to learn to love yourself.
Yeah, to trust myself. Because I always use my gut. The more I'm afraid, the more I use to make things happen. Yeah. If I'm comfortable, things don't happen. If I'm afraid, the fear would drive me to make things better. Yeah, I use fear like when I know, like when I hear no, that means 10 times yes in my ear. I'll show you, I'll make it.
That's the key to
success.
I can
do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But then when depression hits and your father died, your mother, it's a lot going on. What did I do? Did I do anything? And now you're questioning yourself. Yeah. So this brought me back up and say, now you got her, because the story now about FGM, we're not hearing it so much about it. And now look what's happening. We got cousin that we need to take care of in America. What's happening women's body in America.
Yeah, it's not over.
Their freedom are being ripped away and just being, mistreated. And they can't even have birth control now. It's like they can't even. So I'm like, how can I make this story connect from where we're coming from FGM to women's rights, what's happening to their bodies. So we have something to talk about.
Oh, we definitely
We're not talking about politics, because I'm an American. I want America to be a good pecan. That's all I want, but we're not talking it. So that's where I'm making it. So right now the script is finished.
Okay.
Looking for funding.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I want to make it independently, because this subject, I don't want it to be made as a sex kind of a form of like, can she feel it? Can she not feel it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to honor Nigel, what he did for me. And also my mother has a healing part of it, of her dementia and my work. So is this girl coming from Africa, with all of this done, coming to Europe or marriage, running away, finding a friend, coming to America and making a difference, at the same time helping women to be healed and finding love, but doesn't know how to trust that, and finding a way to go back to her parents. And she can get what at the end, it's like coming a full circle.
I think you have to go full circle here.
Yeah, but I don't want to make a 3-hour movie. It has to be 2 hours maximum. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. And it's going to be the same title, The Girl with 3 Legs.
Perfect.
It's perfect title.
It really is.
Yeah.
I know.
So
that's amazing. And I am certain you're going to get the funding.
I will.
Yes, you definitely will.
I hope so.
It will happen.
It will happen.
The script is finished.
So, script is ready.
Yeah.
The script is ready. It's draft is 10 draft. So now it's the perfect one.
You're not going to have any problem.
Yeah.
I know
Thank you. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. The book, a lookbook is ready. You make a lookbook just to show the pictures of what kind of look,
Yeah.
And hopefully the girl who's going to play the lead role, Soraya's role, which I gave my real name, Soraya. I changed everyone else's name.
Okay.
My mom, I call her Hoyo, which is mother in my country, Somalia. So we call her Hoyo. Everyone else is changed. So I want her to be an unknown actress, but fabulous one, bringing this subject new to America in core of feature film instead of documentary.
Yeah.
And Nigel, I hope like he will be my main one. I really wanted was Ray Fiennes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the English patient.
Is that what he looked like?
When he was younger, Dr. Nigel looked just like him, except he had a red hair. He was English, dying of AIDS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had a short time with him, but it was a fabulous,
Yeah.
dying of AIDS, yeah.
I can think of another redheaded actor.
Yeah.
Paul, what's his name? Paul Bettine? Paul? No, the one that's married to the black hair, the blue eyes from Labyrinth. She's married to him.
Oh,
He's gonna look it up right now. Paul Bettany? Is that his name?
He's English?
Yeah, he's English.
Oh, good, yeah.
too old.
Oh, how do we know that? How old was Nigel?
Oh, he was 35.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it could be, it's fine. It could be, how old is he?
Oh, he's got to be, he's probably our age.
Yeah.
So might be a little too
No,
old.
it's fine. The actual old. I mean, you know who I would have loved if he was 40, 60? How old is Jeremy Irons?
Oh, he must be 70 now.
Oh, no. I would love him. And then Daniel Day-Lewis would have been perfect.
Oh, yeah.
He was so quiet. Just look at you like that. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's what he would do. Like, just look at me.
He's only 53.
Oh, that's good. I'll see his picture.
Yeah, he's a nice looking guy. He was in, what movie was he in that you would know him from?
Well, his big one recently was he was in the Marble movie.
Oh, that's right. That's where I know him from, but he didn't look like...
What's his name?
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
Bettany.
Paul, okay.
Yeah, but he is 53, so you might want somebody younger. I don't really know that many. Oh, there's a lot of rich actors, like that one that played...
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, that one, right?
Yeah. And then there's the one that played Stephen Hawking.
Oh, yeah, I like him. Yeah, I like
He's
him.
a redhead as well.
What's his name? Redmayne?
Yeah, Eddie.
I love... What an actor.
He's
That would be
tremendous.
That would be a dream to get rid of. Are
that.
you kidding me?
And he's not been working that much lately. I haven't seen
I would love
anything in
to
a while.
get him. And there was another guy also called what was his name? The other guy who did the Last King of Scotland. Remember?
The Last King of Scotland. Oh, I do know who you're talking about, and he's great. Oh, I love that guy.
King of
He's
Scotland.
the one who was in the Avengers movie who played Patrick Stewart's part as the younger version.
Oh,
He's been so many movies. That's the one that
I love him.
That was
he's my first.
That
was Atonement. Yeah, James McAvoy.
Yeah, that was the best acting he ever done. That movie was perfect. The way he acted,
wasn't
he in Africa doing all of that.
That was the first movie I ever saw him in. I loved that movie so much.
I would love him too.
I would see him in anything after I saw that movie.
I have no worries. If he wants, I will give it to him. Are you kidding me? It would be a dream.
Okay, but only if I could have lunch with him. No?
Yes.
It's fine, a condition.
That's okay, yes. Well, we have to add, that's fine.
Okay, perfect.
That's no problem. You'll be the producer.
Oh.
Then you'll say, hey, I'm going
anyway. It's happening. It's on.
It's doing this. And it has to happen. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at really right now.
Yeah.
And then, and it's really contained, even though it takes place all globally, Africa, Somalia, France, Geneva, here in America, Los Angeles, right? It'll be all contained because it'll be all interior, most of it.
Oh, just in the studio,
that's why, yeah.
Yeah, because it'd probably be cheaper to make it overseas. But yeah.
Yeah, even like if I get, what's his name, Tyler Perry, he has a studio he's not even using. He got so many of them.
Is it in Atlanta, though?
Yeah, we would go to Atlanta. We'll shoot everything imperially.
Good.
I shot all my short film, the short film that I took to Cannes.
Yeah. You did it there?
Yeah, I did it. I did it in Atlanta. I shot it. We used my own savings. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was in 2000. Yeah, late.
Came up under redheaded actors that I absolutely love.
Who?
Is Alan Tudyk.
Oh, he is good, but he's too old.
No, he's not.
How old is he?
My age.
Alan Tudyk? How you? Alan?
Tudyk.
Alan.
He might be really good at that, but yeah, he would be perfect. I think he's too old, but
well, I just had it. What? Come back.
He's in a television show called Resident Alien on Netflix. That's really popular. He's been in
so many.
Oh, yeah, I knew it.
He's just yeah.
But she needs to be 35-ish.
True, like, it could be.
He's got a really young look to him.
He does.
How you spell his last name?
Tudyk.
Tudyk.
Yeah.
Oh, I have him now. Let me see.
He does a lot of comedy, but his dramatic stuff is just unbelievable.
Oh, I need to see it because I remember him funny. Yeah. And this guy...
A lot of people do, but I've seen some of his dramatic roles because I'd love him as an actor.
Okay.
And as a dramatic actor, he is...
Oh, I could see. Okay, I want to see it.
McAvoy.
he's
McAvoy.
also- yeah.
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 He's
Because this guy is... that's the time nobody knew what people had AIDS. Remember that?
Yeah, nobody knew
Yeah.
what's going on.
I know.
You didn't probably know when you...
I didn't even know what gay was. 'Cause I remember when I walked into his home,
Yeah.
it had all these naked butts of men. I thought he was photo all black and white pictures, all these arts. I didn't know what he was doing it for. Yeah, I'm like, what is this art stuff? And anyway, we never talked about it, but at the end I found out what it was when...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, anyway.
It was like a culture clash.
I was shocked. I thought he was weird. I'm like, oh.
But yet you still managed to let down your defenses.
Because you see, look what I went through. Why would I judge someone else? It was the way I,
Yeah.
you got to accept people.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
When you know pain, you know what to do, not to. You just want to. That's why people are so funny. Usually comedians, they've been through a lot, right? Because so funny.
You might be.
Most of them.
Yeah. How has pain changed you? Do you have any idea?
I think pain made me grow and made me more empathic.
Mm-hmm.
I feel other people's pain and I want to do something about it.
I feel the same way after experiencing great pain.
It's like, I do the same. Even now I go and help, work recovery places where I go and help, those who are suffering with drugs and mental health. And just, that's what I do. It's like, just, I'm there for you. I'm one of you. You could make it. I relapsed 4 times and I made it. It's been 26 years. You could do it. You could get your life back.
Could you live in this world without doing that?
No, because, but if mom explained to me what was happening, like they do to other kids who are sane, they said, this is what's going to happen. Now I could trust you. But if you keep doing things that are causing me pain and expect me to smile and be happy, no, I want to numb this.
Did your siblings have the same experience that you had?
They did. My sister, both of them, when they get their period, they'll suffer it, but no one talks about it. They just give them hot tea and the sand they could throw it up. I would witness that. And then my sister was saying, I remember when I came back that day when they brought me from the surgery, my mom was sitting in the front. I was laying down on the back because my leg was bounded with the rope, right? And when the gate opened, my father was, general, when all I hear was ululating, party. And my family were there, my sisters and everybody, and the girls who were mean to me, calling me at school, like the girl with 3 legs, they were smiling me happy. Everyone's so happy for me, and I'm suffering. I'm like, what the? I can't say that, but you know what I mean. What? I spit all of them. It's like, what? So, and then I remember my sister saying, when they put me on the mattress on the floor, because you can't sleep in bed, she said, Soraya, I said, I can't feel my leg. Can you please, I want her to remove the rope that's binding my legs together. I said, I can't feel my legs.
Oh, geez.
My legs. And she goes, she checked the rope. She said, everything looks fine. She said, Soraya, I know you're in pain, but you won't remember this day and you will forgive your mom. You won't even remember this day. So I will remember her throwing up and, when she got her period, telling me all of that. And I was doing the same thing when I got my period, throwing up, just remembering what she said. You're not going to remember it. And I know for sure it's not something you could forget. I know she never forgot. None of them forgot what they went through, but they don't want to talk about it.
It's kind of like, I had that experience with childbirth.
Oh, of course. Oh, my God. Painful.
Because afterwards,
beautiful, because
I was like, I'm like, oh my God, how do people do this over and over again? But then, like, within, several months, I completely forgot about the dates. It's ready for another one.
And because you were expected, and then here is expect. This is cultural.
Yeah.
They did it. This is what expected.
Yeah.
I don't feel it. I'm fine. That's actually what someone told me.
Yeah.
It's like my mother had it, but the girl from Ethiopia, she said, Soraya Mire, she's a script line producer. She goes,
yeah.
My mom had it and she never talks about it. She seems fine. I'm like, of course.
Were you formally educated when you were younger? You never talk about your education before you went to college.
Okay. We were all educated back home. Everybody. Not because my father was the army, the general thing. Because usually you have to know, you get tutors when you're 5 years old. That's what we had, tutors. And we were 9 kids. My mom had 11 kids and 9 survived.
Wow.
Talking about childbirth.
Yeah.
And for her to be restitched every child, she gets back again.
Right. They stitch her back to a virgin state. They infibulate her every time.
We do it here in America and we stopped that. Anyway, yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, unless she's, cut it hard and they have to do something that's okay. Like even childbirth here, if they cut it, it's
yeah.
They could sew you a little bit, but not like FGM thing all the way.
Right, because I had the, what do they call it? The husband stitch. Yeah, that's what they call it.
That's normal, but not like you can't ask the doctor like restitch me the way I was. No, but they do it back home, right? Every child. That's a gift to the husband.
Oh, that's his gift?
Yeah. Anyway, so what was I talking about? I forgot.
We were talking about your education.
Yeah. So when you're 5 years old, you get tutor, and we were 9 kids, so we have to learn different languages in case of civil war.
Right.
Something happened to father and us. When we go over the world, around the world, we would know how to speak and how to manage things.
And he was right. He knew.
And we all did that. So I speak the Italian, and then she speaks German. My sister Asha, if you speak this, then speaks this.
You all spoke different languages.
But Somali is our language. Arabic is the second because you have to read Quran and pray. And then Italian because they colonized us.
Oh, all right.
Well, they tried until they fall in love with the women. They really didn't do a good job. But anyway, thank God. Joking.
That's funny.
They're like, oh, beautiful women here.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Italian, you have to know Italian.
Yeah.
So really, it was hard. It was hard for you to go to high school without knowing languages. So I went to Middle Eastern Egyptian high school.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you were educated, and my sisters were educated. My father was education was so important to him. My father was like he would have been shouting for women's rights, I think. But my mom she was wearing his uniform in the house. He was wearing outside in his camp whenever he was at the base.
Yeah.
But when he comes home and that flagging the car he's driving with Somali flag comes out, they salute him. She was gonna wear, not really physically, visually she wears it because she's she was really
she was the general in the house. She ran the house.
Respected her. That was weird.
Yeah, it sounds like a very interesting.
We really respected her, but we don't know what happened behind the closed doors. When we found out, a lot of things happened, arguments about don't do this. I don't care what culture says.
Your father was a general in the Somali army.
Yeah.
But how did that come to be? Was he from a higher echelon? Did he work his way up into that position? How did he get there?
What happened was he was really, before when he met my mom, he was really just a soldier, like.
He was just anybody.
Wonderful man.
Yeah.
I don't remember. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And my mom was this Cinderella girl. Her father was the richest guy in the country at that time.
Your grandfather.
Yeah, that time. Yeah, sorry, that time he was. Yeah. So she had a hard time marrying him because he's like, what?
Okay, so she went from being...
She went against that. She should have agreed.
So it was a love match.
She fell in love with him.
How did she meet him?
I think he met her in a lake, he said. My father is like a scene. He creates he visualized. That's where I learned from how to... Oh. He will describe how he met. He said she was in a lake, I think what was town, Beledweyne, somewhere, and we had in Somalia town. He said, I came to a lake for a break, and I see this woman. All I could see is this long horse hair all the way to her butt, shining it, wearing it all black, because that time she used to wear like to cover themselves.
Oh, a
Because,
burqa?
yeah, kind of a like Arabic thing, like whatever you call it. Because
Yeah.
it's like if you're too beautiful, you have a nice, people have a bad eye or look at you. Things could happen to you. All this
Right.
superstitious things. So
But it only
that,
happens to women for some reason.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Because it's like hate your beauty.
Yeah.
Hide your beauty. That's what it was. That's how they control and hide your beauty. You're too beautiful. He said that I had to speak to her, but I was afraid who's looking at me. I was afraid if I go to her or someone else might come and just, her brother, her father. So he said she turned. I think she sensed me. She just looked at me and just stared. That was it, he said.
Oh.
That's how the conversation started it. So that was our plan. She will come, stand there. I will go and look at her. We stare at each other. And the end, when we felt comfortable talking.
Oh, that's interesting.
Isn't that so? My father is like a kind of a romantic at heart.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
So your mother at that point had already had 2 children by the age of like 15.
Yeah.
With her sister's
husband,
because her sister had died in childbirth.
And she was my grandmother forced her to marry.
So your mother endured a lot.
Yeah.
To get to where she was.
She had 2 kids, and then raising her sister's daughter, which is my Khalifa.
Oh, that's Khalifa.
Yeah. Okay. She's my oldest sister because we can separate, right?
Right.
She had Asha and Mariam, like my oldest sister, and then Abdul Malik, Zahra, and blah, blah. I'm number 6.
So you were number 6 of the 7 that she had.
Yeah, and then she had 3 after that.
Wow.
So
we're going to make a movie.
Yeah, we're going to make the movie, your script and my movie.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to make a movie. We're both going to make movies, and we're going to change the world.
We will.
That's
right.
You. Okay.
Anybody who wants to support us and come and join us, you're welcome.
Absolutely. How do people get a hold of you?
Well,
should they do it through my website?
Yeah, you could do it through your website.
Great.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to make contact with Soraya Mire, I will forward those messages to her, and you can make contact with me through www.pepptalkswithjeannie.com. And we have a place on there where you can contact me, and I will forward it on. That's all beautiful.
Thank you.
All beautiful.
This was nice.
It's been very nice. This has been one of the most interesting interviews I've done, and I think that this will be the most rewarding for my audience. I think that a lot of people will benefit from this.
I can't wait to hear from them.
And you have done so much to help women all over the world.
Thank you.
I'm in awe. I really am.
Me too.
You've made so many personal sacrifices to be here today. Your journey has not been easy. You have given this your heart and soul to make sure that your life is mattered.
Yes.
Your pain mattered.
Thank you.
And I think you found some meaning in this work. It's made life.
Mission in life.
Right?
It really is what it is.
We all need to have that. And what a gift to be able to help people.
I know. It helps you and heal more.
So much more. I have found that as well, that my grief is tempered by the good things that happen around me now.
And look what you have helped
others. I am grateful.
You, and I'm there for you.
Thank you.
Grief and healing.
Thank you.
Anytime.
And I'm there for you because like the Somali women,
yes,
I've also been subjected to female abuse and misogyny. Yeah. When I was 13, I was attacked by a man in my childhood bedroom.
Oh my God.
Which I survived that attack by fighting back.
Look at that.
And none of us are safe.
No.
Because we're physically weaker and we're seen as prey. So sadly, things haven't changed much since I was 13. Still that way here. So
not a week anymore.
We're going to make a difference.
We will make a difference. I promise you.
And I've learned how to use my knee, and I'll use it.
And you are never weak. You are a powerhouse.
Never.
You know what? God, we are good.
We are good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
So today's guest and the second of 2 episodes, Soraya Mire, the most beautiful, sweetest, kindest, powerful woman who wrote this amazing book, which is going to be a movie someday. You could be a part of it.
Yeah.
The Girl with 3 Legs. Let's take care of our women.
Yes.
Let's take care of women around the world and girls and boys.
Yeah.
And let's make sure that everyone has a fair
humanity,
a fair
share
Yes, a fair introduction to life in this world.
Yeah.
And equality.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this has been another episode of Pep Talks with Jeannie. We want to thank Soraya Mire for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Jeannie, for having me. It's been a pleasure. I honor you and I respect you so much. Thank you. This was an amazing day. I appreciate you. I want to thank your audience. Thank you so much for tuning in today and listening to us. I just want to make sure that this issue on female genital mutilation is still happening as we talk right now. And our goal is to end it by 2030. Completely eradicate female genital mutilation. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.
That's right. Hashtag Blaze It Forward is a campaign my family started in 2018 after our son Blaze was murdered. Hashtag Blaze It Forward provides the inspiration to thousands of people to repair the world with intentional acts of kindness. If you would like to learn more about Blaze and how you can make a difference, check out www.blazebernstein.org or join our Facebook group at hashtag Blaze It Forward. You can also check out my website for this podcast at www.pepptalkswithjeannie.com. There you can follow along with my podcasting adventures and learn more about my fascinating guests and their passion projects. I would like to thank all of the volunteers who help make my philanthropic endeavors a reality. Today, that includes my producer, Eli Moskowitz, all of the volunteer crew members who join us, and a special thank you to my son, Jay Bernstein, for the original theme song you hear at the beginning and ending of each show. This has been another episode of Pep Talks with Jeannie. Until next time, keep on making this world a better place.